welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. As you can probably tell by the title and the intro, I will be reading some clown-based horror books for this reading vlog and going to the circus and getting into the really creepy clown aspect. Because if you don't know, I used to have a fear of clowns and I kind of still find them a bit creepy, but I thought this would be a really fun idea. And I mean, my slasher vlog kind of went down well and I really enjoyed making it. So I thought I'm going to do some more themed reading vlogs this year and take you along with me. For this, I am reading 2 clown-based horror books, and the first one is Cirque, Berserk by Jessica Guess. This is a short novella about a group of teens who go to Cirque, Berserk. The carnival's not as abandoned as they might think. So this one sounds really interesting. I love the idea of the roller rink because I adore skating, and this one sounds like it's going to be really creepy and fun. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out. And the other book that I will be reading in this vlog is The Cotton Candy Massacre by Christopher Robinson. This is again another clown-based slasher that is set in a carnival, also set in 1989. So it's kind of interesting in that sense. Both of these books I have also chosen to be part of Old School April. Those are going to be the books that I read in this vlog, and I will let you know my thoughts once I read them. Okay, so I am just out of the shower, but I wanted to give you my thoughts on Cirque Berserk while I remember for this vlog. As you probably tell by the clips, I have been reading this on my trip through Europe that I did at the start of April, and I finished it when I got home from that trip, but obviously it's a short book and it took me a really long time to actually read it. But if I was reading this in the UK, then I probably would have finished this in a day because it was such an easy read. But it obviously took me a lot longer because I was traveling and exploring some new cities. But anyway, this book I fell in love with. Like, at the start, I didn't really think that it was going to be that interesting. But then we have so many different perspectives from the characters involved, where they go to the carnival that's been abandoned for years, and it's really interesting to get each individual character's perspective as well as their character development in such a short book. And I feel like that's very difficult to do with the limited space that you have in a novella, but Jessica seemed to do that really well, and I was enjoying reading the characters' developments and thoughts within this. The element of roller skating and the roller rink was just up my alley. I adore roller skating. I did it as a child and I picked up the hobby again during lockdown, and one thing that I really want to do is go to a roller rink, but there is none near me, so getting to experience it within a book was really fun. And this has so many 80s / like 90s references, especially relating to the music that gets played, and the titles as well of chapters or sections within this book. So I really like this. It's very much a slasher, trying to kill as many people as possible, and I do love that within books. So of course this is definitely high up on my list and I really enjoyed it. Obviously this vlog is about carnivals and clown killers, but unfortunately this one doesn't have any clown killers as such. This one was set in a abandoned carnival. There's lots of dark kills in this and they're very creative. I really enjoyed reading about them. This one I adored, and I can tell why so many people love this book. So I am glad that I picked this one up for this vlog. But currently I am reading The Cotton Candy Massacre and loving it so far. It is incredible, and I am off to the circus tomorrow. I will come back to you with more updates when I have finished The Cotton Candy Massacre. Bye. So I had to come down here and film my reaction after watching the Terrifier like straight away because of how disturbed I was. I can't believe I put myself through that, honestly. So after reading about carnivals and clowns in the Cotton Candy Massacre, and I thought that watching a clown-based horror movie would be fine because I can tolerate carnival books. Safe to say that's not the case. Terrifier is about a clown who likes to go around torturing and killing people. And he is proper creepy. He doesn't say anything, and his smile like just gives me the ick. Like there's something so creepy in that acting that just really got me. So I enjoy gory movies and slasher based horror movies, but for some reason this one kind of just made me feel really sick. The level of gore and torture that's in this was next level. It was proper extreme horror at its finest, at least in my case. And I do read extreme horror and all of that stuff, so I'm not squeamish when it comes to that. But I don't know what it is about this movie. It really terrified me, and I guess it did its job. It is called Terrifier, and it was terrifying. But at the same time, I just can't help but like continue to feel disgusted. Like I put myself through watching this movie for a vlog. Yeah, so it's safe to say I probably won't be watching Terrifier 2. The idea was for me to watch Terrifier 1 and then straight into Terrifier 2. But after watching the first one, I can safely say that that's not the case. I will not be watching the next one. I am just going to leave it at Terrifier because it was terrifying for me and I don't want to put myself through that again. I don't like clowns. I know that. I definitely do not like clowns, especially killer clowns. There are a couple of really interesting scenes in this movie though. Like you get to see bodies cut in half, just hanging from his like torture chamber in this abandoned like warehouse. Some things he did was really strange, and I hate the smile. So creepy. Clearly it did its job. I was disgusted, and movies like that are made to make you feel disgusted. So at the end of the day, safe to say the movie did that well. So that is Terrifier over, thank goodness. I have a couple pages left of the Cotton Candy Massacre. So I think I have like one chapter left called The Final Bitches or something. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this ends. Currently, I am really loving it. It is so good. There are so many clowns within the Cotton Candy Massacre, and it's really disturbing. And I really like the way they Christopher Robinson's been writing this. So I will leave all of my thoughts for when I actually do finish it. But for now, at least you know that I am loving the book, and I will give you my full review at some point soon when I finish it. So yeah, I'll see you again soon. So I have finished the Cotton Candy Massacre, and oh my goodness, this is incredible. This book just screams crazy clowns, and it's so atmospheric. It was so interesting to read. I really love the dynamic between all of the characters and how immersive it felt. There is so many really interesting plot points within this book, and it's really dark. I adored the kill scenes in this. It was so incredible, really well described, and it reads like a film. So there is parts within this book that was basically like cut to like introducing a new scene, and it was dotted throughout the book and within chapters. So it would be split screen to, then it tells you about the certain scene and then goes cut to, and then it moves on to the next one. So it's written like a movie script, and the story is outlined within like that film element, but it reads like a normal novel. So the concept within this book was very interesting and intriguing, because I haven't read a book that's done that before. So I really enjoyed reading this, and the cover is so stunning, and I love everything about this. Reading creepy clowns is not an issue for me. I thought it would be, but it was nice to test that theory by reading such incredible books about clowns and crazy carnivals. I really loved how crazy Christopher had wrote the carnival owner, and the twists throughout this book were really, really interesting to read, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I feel like anybody who likes creepy elements within horror is going to really enjoy this book. Same with Cirque Berserk that I talked about earlier in this video. They have different vibes. So this is very much about clowns and the element of cannibalism. Very heavy on the cannibalism, whereas Cirque Berserk had the element of just weird people wanting to kill for rituals. Cirque Berserk is more about creepy ritual, like normal people who enjoy carnivals and roller skating, which I loved that element. Whereas the Cotton Candy Massacre is essentially mental clowns. So yeah, they both have something for somebody, and I've really loved reading them. So excuse the noise if you can hear it outside. Some people are doing some gardening, and I had a spare moment to film this clip just to round out this vlog. As you know, this vlog was all about the clown and carnival craziness, and I've had a really fun time filming it. And I learned that I can read about crazy carnivals and killer clowns, but watching it is a whole nother level. Like, I can't handle that Terrifier movie. It terrified me and it was so dark. I enjoy horror, like I mentioned within my reaction clip, but that was just really extreme, and I think throwing in the clown element definitely made it creepier for me. I've always had an issue with clowns, so by doing this video I wanted to test my limits with clowns, and I think I did that. Terrifier terrified me, but I loved Cirque Berserk and the Cotton Candy Massacre. They were both incredible books to read, and I would highly recommend them. And then I also went to the circus where they did crazy stunts. It wasn't very much like a carnival, it was just stunts, people doing stunts, like roller skating it on a very small platform. You probably saw some clips before in this video. I didn't actually film anything like a reaction to it or anything like that. It was just an additional thing to do during this vlog, because I wanted to add some elements that might make it kind of cool. So yeah, that was my creepy clown carnival video. I hope you have enjoyed watching, and let me know if you have any ideas on what you want to see from me next in terms of themes and reading vlogs. Tell me what type of book you'd probably like me to read, and I'll see what I can do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.